Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Welcome to video number 3 of our Ask series, where we explore the passion for the possible. In this video, we will cover unit number 2 to empowering you to unlock your students' full potential. This is Uniza Ambar Asif, lead trainer at Fajr Foundation head office. I am excited to share our training content with you. Special thanks to Mukaddas for assisting me in preparing these videos and making them available to you. Today, we will discuss the relationship of Bloom's taxonomy with SLOs. Bloom's taxonomy allows you to link your outcomes to the tasks you want your students to demonstrate. It also can act as a guide on what level of learning you want your students to achieve. As we all know that Bloom's taxonomy was presented by Benjamin Bloom in 1956. Its main purpose is to devise a system that will help to classify levels of cognitive functioning and provide a sense of structure for the various mental processes we experience. So, the experience is the key in it. Bloom's taxonomy comprises 3 learning domains: cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. In this slide, you can see them in a different form. Within each domain, learning can take place at a number of levels ranging from simple to complex. Cognitive domain. It focuses on intellectual skills, knowledge, and mental processes. Psychomotor domain. It emphasizes physical skills, coordination, and hands-on practices. Affective domain. It concerned with emotions, attitude, and values. These 3 domains are often referred as the 3H theory: head, hand, and heart. In 2001, the original cognitive model was modified by 2 educational psychologists, and it was published with the title A Taxonomy for Teaching, Learning, and Assessment. You can see original and revised taxonomy. We have discussed this in detail in the last video, that nouns, they were replaced with the verbs, and the position of levels, it was changed. In this presentation, we will explore the cognitive domain and its 6 levels. The first 3 levels, remembering, understanding, and applying, are commonly referred to as lower order thinking skills or LOTS. These foundational skills are essential for absorbing and processing information. The final 3 levels, analyzing, evaluating, and creating, they are known as higher order thinking skills or HOTS. These advanced skills enable us to critically examine information, make informed judgments, and generate innovative solutions. Now, a question arises: which is more important, lower order thinking skills or higher order thinking skills? Is it the foundation laid by LOTS or the advanced capabilities of HOTS that hold greater significance? To answer this question, let's break it down. Before we can understand a concept, we need to remember it. To apply a concept, we need to understand it. To evaluate a process, we need to analyze it. And to create something new, we need to complete a thorough evaluation. In other words, lower order thinking skills lay the foundation, while higher order thinking skills build upon that foundation. Both are essential, and one cannot exist without the other. To foster meaningful learning, teachers must recognize the integration between these levels, carefully crafting instruction that guides students through a progression of cognitive complexity. In this slide, you can see cognitive domain, the verbs. For each level of the cognitive domain, we have a set of specific verbs. These verbs serve a powerful tool for teachers, helping them to develop clear course goals, lesson objectives, and learning outcomes. By incorporating these verbs into instructional design, teachers can create a roadmap for student learning, ensuring an effective learning experience. Before we understand SLOs, it is essential to clarify the differences between goals, objectives, and outcomes. Although these terms are often used interchangeably, there are key differences. Learning goals and objectives, they are broader, typically describe what an instructor, program, or institution aims to achieve. They outline the intended purpose or target of the learning experience. On the other hand, a learning outcome describes in observable and measurable terms what a student is able to do as a result of completing a learning experience, such as a course, project, or unit. In other words, SLOs focus on the specific skills, knowledge, or attitude that students will demonstrate after completing the learning experience. You can see in our grid that goals, they are broader then objectives, and at the last, the specific outcomes. Effective SLOs have some key features. They are always written in a student centered, measurable fashion that is concise, meaningful, and achievable. By focusing on what students will be able to do, SLOs provide a clear roadmap for learning and assessment. Now that we have explored the fundamental features of SLOs, let's take it a step further. On this slide, we will discuss common mistakes to avoid when designing SLOs, along with practical solutions which help us to overcome these challenges. जैसा कि आप इस स्लाइड पे देख रहे हैं, कुछ एग्जांपल्स दी गई हैं which are not student centered, not measurable, not clear. और उसी के सामने कुछ ऐसी एग्जांपल्स लिखी गई हैं which are student centered, measurable, and clear. The keywords given are name, describe, apply, and analyze. Basically, ये SLOs हैं वो SLOs हैं जिनको हम easily अचीव कर सकते हैं और हम उसमें स्टूडेंट का बिहेवियर देख सकते हैं when they are working. Another slide example is not concise. क्यों concise नहीं है? इसलिए कि इसमें बहुत सारी चीजें एक ही ऑब्जेक्टिव के अंदर लिख दी गई हैं, एक ही लर्निंग आउटकम के अंदर लिख दी गई हैं। कंसाइज मीन्स हमें एक टाइम पे एक ही SLO कवर करना है, जैसा कि आप उसकी एग्जांपल में देख रहे हैं। समराइज इज द की वर्ड। नेक्स्ट एग्जांपल इज टास्क बेस्ड। स्टूडेंट को सिर्फ टास्क परफॉर्म करवाया जाता है। बेसिकली हमें वो स्किल ट्रांसफर करनी है। फ्लेक्सिबल होना चाहिए SLO जो कि आउटकम बेस्ड हो, डेमोन्स्ट्रेट. सो दिस इज द करेक्ट एग्जाम्पल. All these examples will provide further clarity while writing effective SLOs. On this slide, you can see the formula for writing effective SLOs. By the end of the lesson, which can be a unit, chapter, or topic, students will be able to then measurable verb. We will use a measurable verb here plus learning statement. अब आप नीचे की एग्जाम्पल में define, describe, calculate, differentiate, determine and design, ये जो words हैं these are measurable verb. और ब्लू में जो लिखा गया है वो learning statement है जो कि हमने physics के एक लेसन से लिए हैं. These SLOs clearly outline what students will be able to do after completing the lesson using measurable verbs and specific learning statements. और इस एग्जाम्पल में ब्लूम्स टेक्सोनोमी के तमाम लेवल्स आपको कवर होते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं. सो जब आपने लेसन प्लान बनाना है तो आपने इस चीज को माइंड में लाजमी रखना है कि आपके वर्ब्स मेजरेबल होने चाहिए along with the learning statement of your own subject, on topic, on chapter. So in summary, we have explored the connection between Bloom's taxonomy and student learning outcomes. By aligning SLOs with Bloom's taxonomy, teachers can create clear, measurable learning objectives. This framework guides instruction, assessment, and evaluation, ensuring students achieve specific knowledge, skills, and attitude. Now your task is to create a comprehensive lesson plan incorporating all levels of Bloom's taxonomy using the lesson plan format 2022. This lesson plan will be presented to the academic committee comprising the vice principal, section heads, and school trainer. Modify if needed. Once finalized, upload your lesson plan to the Google Classroom by December 24. In conclusion, I would like to end my presentation with a profound Quranic verse that reminds us of the importance of planning and its divine origin. Wallahu khairul makirin. And the best of the planners is Allah. May this verse inspire us to strive for excellence in our planning and decision making. And may Allah guide us in all our endeavors. Thank you for your attention, and I welcome any questions or feedback you may have. For a systematic and organized discussion, please leave your questions and comments in the Google Classroom. I will respond to them promptly. Shukriya.